So, welcome everyone to Spring Equinox 2023. From now until the 23rd of September, the sun is going to be equal, day and night in the sky. And then in the summer hemisphere, it starts getting darker. And in the northern hemisphere, it starts getting lighter. So we are really now moving into the light and bright and coming out of the winter hibernation here in the northern hemisphere. And spring equinox has become, I would say, a portal for new cycles that are starting. So the download that I got very clearly was that in 2020 was the start of a new cycle, almost like a new vision. And then, of course, the pandemic hit around the spring equinox, and everything locked down. And that lasted until winter solstice 2022. And a lot of planetary change happened around that time. We saw, I would say, really the beginning of the Aquarian age. And we had two full moons in Aquarius in 2021. We had a lot of planetary movement around Uranus, Saturn, and Pluto, bringing up a lot of transformation and internal change, and also seeing our limitations. It was a personal journey for each one of us, but also collectively as a humanity. And it really was, I would say, the start of what I call the Great Awakening. That's been happening over a period of time, but really for the next 6 years, starting in 2020 to 2026, this is where everything's just going to really start crumbling. And indigenous communities all around the world, including the Kogi, the Quero, have all said that by 2026, we're really going to be facing a consciousness crisis on the planet, and that's what it is becoming right now. And for me, it's a crisis of separation to Mother Earth, to our natural world, to the non-humans, or all the living things that share our planet with us. And this disconnect is leading to what we are now seeing as the ecological crisis that we're facing. And in order to overcome what's happening, we need to shift back to unity consciousness, to remembering that we're all one in the great web of life, and change our actions accordingly. And so we're now starting this next phase from autumn equinox 2023 to winter solstice 2025. We're going to be in another 2-year cycle. And in this year cycle, there's going to be another big wobble or another big opening of consciousness. As my father always said, what's breaking through, what's breaking down. So not focusing necessarily on what's breaking down, but certainly becoming much more aware of what's actually breaking through. And actually, things need to crumble in order for us to start seeing beyond illusion and seeing things from different perspectives. So it can be a very terrifying time, but it also can be a liberating time. And there's a Chinese saying, may you live in interesting times. And it is really about moving into seeing through the crisis to the opportunity that is available to us, not only individually, but collectively as a species. And one of the things that I have been downloaded or feel very strongly, having walked this path for many years and following these cycles and seasons and moons, and doing it in a natural flow. So I haven't really learnt it. I've been living it, and I've been living it since 2006, and it has now really become a part of me. Is that I've been seeing this cosmic rhythm shift and change, and been living this cosmic rhythm. So it's almost, I can almost see the path ahead. And it is really, the clearer we are, the more focused we are, the more we know what our purpose is, the easier it is going to be able to navigate through the rapids that are coming towards us. If we are stuck in scientific, rational thinking, we're going to be finding it very difficult to navigate what's coming next. If we're living from a heart-centered, heart-spaced place of connection to Mother Earth, to humanity, and ideally with a purpose of supporting and serving, then the energies, we can utilize those energies to really bring us what we're intentioning. Now, the energy doesn't know good or bad. That has no judgment. It's a neutral energy. It's really, we're the catalysts or the conductors of that energy. So you can use it for ego use, and we're seeing that very clearly in the collective. But it's also as powerful if you're using it in service. And when you start using it in service, you get an energetic boost of energy, of connection, of transmission almost, and you feel so much happier, more peaceful, more contented, more loving, um, happy, more energized, because we're almost working in alignment with Mother Earth and the cosmic consciousness. And Mother Earth wants us to thrive. And when we work in that thriving environment, then we are also thriving. And so we can use this energy for our own ego, and personal wants and desires, but ultimately it's not going to give you that added element of energy, of health, of well-being, and of joy and peace and happiness. And you can see it from the inside out. It's when I always say, shine bright because the world needs your light. Is that inner light that's shining bright, and is that inner light that is fed by connecting ourselves to the great cosmos, to recognizing we're all one with nature, and to trusting that we're going to thrive. And one other thing I'd like to add is that in this time of crisis and in this time of breakdown, not everyone is a loser. There are always going to be, as like, losers or winners, but there's always going to be people who are going to benefit from it, or they're going to have a loss from it. And the people who have done the consciousness work, the people who are coming from a heart-centered place, the people who are in service to Mother Earth, are the ones that are going to benefit from this shift in this new cycle. It's just an energetic change, and it needs to happen because we've reached a point in our consciousness, this separation consciousness, that we've hit the end of the road. And so the move now back to unity consciousness that we always had prior to separation is the next step in our evolutionary consciousness as a humanity. And when the caterpillar in the chrysalis starts to dissolve, it doesn't automatically become a butterfly. It takes time for those imaginal cells to reorganize themselves into the butterfly. And the breaking down is happening now. And we are the imaginal cells to put this mush back into the butterfly. But we can only put the mush back into if we know that we are the butterfly. And so this is the work that needs to get done now. This is the consciousness that needs to get done, is the recognizing that we are the butterfly, even though we're in a mush of gloop in as the caterpillar dissolves. And it's the imaginal cells that imagine the butterfly that will help humanity evolve to that next stage of unity consciousness, which is essential if we're going to keep this planet healthy for future generations. And these next few cycles are going to be imperative, and how we work within them. This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is actually happening now. We are living at a brink of real change on the planet, and it can be incredibly exciting and hopeful. But tuning into the moon every month, tuning into the solstices, the equinoxes, the 4 cross-quarter festivals can really help to harness the energy and keep us on track, so that we don't wobble if everything around us is wobbling, and can keep our frequency high to help the caterpillar become the butterfly, to help humanity evolve to this next stage of evolution in order to keep a thriving planet for future generations. And so it's a time to be really hopeful, to be really excited about the possibilities, and to know that when you're in alignment with yourself, with Mother Earth, with all of the consciousness, the cosmos, and the earth beneath us, then you are going to be protected to thrive within this space and really be part of the change that's needed for us to come into the next stage of our evolution.